Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amongst the people, He has Inna lillahi ahluna minan nas. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amongst the people, He has those who He has special people among humanity. He has those who are special. And so the Sahaba asked, who are they, Ya Rasulullah? And he said, the people of the Quran, Ahlul Quran, Ahlullahi wa khasatuh, those who are Allah's people and they are close and they are Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has excluded them from everyone else. So they have like an exclusive, a lofty, a noble rank with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it says Ahlul Quran. So when you listen to these ahadith about the virtues of the Quran and those people of the Quran, the first thing that should come to mind is not memorization of the Quran only, or knowing the tajweed, which is obviously has its own merit and it's very valuable. But the first thing that must come to mind is the application of the Quran, embodying and internalizing and applying the meanings of the Quran, because that's the priority. Because let's take two examples. Someone who has memorized the Quran and knows how to recite it, but they don't apply it. And then someone who has just memorized, one juz maybe, just or 10 pages, but they apply its teachings. Which of the two are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Obviously, the one who embodies and applies the teachings of the Quran and not the one who just recites it. In fact, in history, we have people who were known to be good reciters with the Quran, but they violated the teachings of the Quran. Among them are those Khawarij in the time of Ali radiallahu anhu, where they knew how to recite the Quran and everything, but they violated the teachings of the Quran. And so that's why it's important to understand that it's a full package. So those people who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Ahlul Quran, this includes, it does include memorization, pondering, reflecting, learning, and then embodying it and then teaching it to others. So it's a full package. It's not a narrow-ended meaning. And memorizing the Quran should help the person with applying the Quran. So let's say you're dealing with your parents, then you remember the ayat in Surah Al-Isra. Now, if you're in a business transaction, you remember verses in Surah Al-A'raf and the story of Shu'aib radiallahu anhu. If you are getting married or you have to deal with your spouse, you remember verses from Surah An-Nisa, from Surah Al-Baqarah. And in every situation of your life, you have verses from the Quran that's guiding you. Your actions are stemming from these verses. Your understanding, your attitude are spring from these verses of the Quran. Right now we're in a masjid, so we might think about the verses in Surah An-Nur, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises those who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala frequently in His mosques. So in every single situation in your life, there has to be a verse in the Quran that's guiding you, because it's a way of life that's guiding you towards the right thing to do. And if someone does that, they memorize the Quran for that purpose, to apply it, and so to help them in its application, then that's indeed who the Prophet ﷺ is referring to in this hadith. And may Allah make us all from them. Ameen. I hope this was beneficial. يروي الإمام أبو داود بإسناد حسن عن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن لله أهلون من الناس قالوا من هم يا رسول الله قال أهل القرآن أهل الله وخاصته صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.